Yeah. Hey, I'm going to break down some strumming patterns for you today, and I thought I would just leave my little dude looking over my shoulder. You ever feel like you're playing and somebody's looking over your shoulder? Well, that's my model of myself. My model, it's like your teacher. It's like my teacher. He's looking over my shoulder. I want to talk about strumming patterns. I want to break them down so they're easy, and most people will struggle with strumming patterns and they will just never really get the idea. There is a trick to this. There's a trick to strumming patterns. There's a trick to getting good at strumming patterns. First of all, you just have to have some internal rhythm, and then we'll put it into the guitar. So the patterns that you hear people doing, I've been writing a lot of lessons, and you can hear all these patterns. Hear all that, and that's a lot of stuff happening. That's a lot of stuff in the pop up here. That's a lot of stuff happening, and you're probably like, oh my goodness, how am I going to do that? How am I going to play that? That's like a lot. So you got to listen in there and see. But there are elements of strumming, and I teach all this in my Gold Pass. So like the videos, thumbs up, put on the little notification, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're getting close to 10,000, and I want to get to 10,000. Been trying to get to 10,000 for a while, but strumming patterns basically all broken down into just basic rhythms. So this is your basic rhythm. It's quarter notes, and it's quarter notes down. So I'm gonna try to get this to where you can see it. This is my little live video setup. That's quarter notes, and that's just down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see all that. And I can play better without my glasses. Now, if you want to do eights, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that doesn't sound much like a strumming pattern, but that is in every pattern. So it's that is basically 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you have quarters, you have eighths, and then you have sixteenths, and that would be like ticka 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 ticka. Now ticka tickas is down up down up. Ticka 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 ticka. Now that little pattern goes through almost every song. It's underneath the song. It's a rhythm in the song. When you're listening to music, when you're listening to any of this stuff, you can kind of hear like, you can kind of hear that little thing. That's the basis of all of our rhythm. It's quarters, eighths, and then sixteenths. And there are triplets that look like triplet, da 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 da. And that might come into play if you're in 6/8 or 3/4 or something. But for the most part, we're feeling ticka 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 ticka. Now, the biggest thing I can say for strumming patterns before you get into syncopation, and syncopation is like putting a note on an unexpected beat. So it'll be like 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. That would be like syncopation. That's like a syncopated rhythm, and it might sound like. So you can hear that, da, 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 da. But that is still 16th note pattern. So before you get all freaked out about that just sounds like a big, and probably some of your mind's just a big warbled mess, basically, because it's just a bunch of, and you like, how am I supposed to count that or know that or feel? You sort of have to be able to say the pattern before you can play it. And that's what I always teach in early beginners. If you can't say it, then you can't play it. If you cannot say the pattern, forget trying to play it. So if you can't say the pattern, then you cannot play the pattern. So if you can't say ticket 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 like a chant, then you will not be able to play the pattern. So one of my biggest tips for all the beginners is start to say the pattern, chant the pattern, and then once you get that down, then you could probably play the pattern. Once you put it in your hands, like a ticket, 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 ticket. So ticket, 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 ticket. So if you can do that part, then you can most likely play this pattern. So, but that is syncopation. You're like, okay, I want to make this, you want to make this easy. So let's make it easy. Let's do it easy with quarter notes. So quarter notes down would be just 1, 2. That's a strumming pattern, the most basic of strumming patterns. How would we make that pattern cool? Well, we might add a flip to it. So at the end of each one, do a down up. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 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 1. So that's a pattern too. And if you want to make it even better, you can add eighth notes with the 16th flip, which would be T T T T T T T tick a T T T T T T T tick a T T T. That's a pattern. Tick a T T T T T T T tick a T T T T T. So that's a pattern, but why it sounds kind of stale and kind of just basic. So how would you make that better? And I'm going to tell you one of the biggest secrets to strumming patterns. After you kind of understand all that it's quarters, eighths, and 16ths, there's a few secrets, and I teach these in all my online courses, but I'm telling you now, it is accents, and selective strumming. Okay, besides the syncopation, which is an unexpected beat, it's accents, and selective strumming. Those two things work together. Accenting, whenever you want to accent a beat, you just play a little harder. And selective strumming, for example, you play the top and then the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So you're not playing all of the strings all the time, and then you have what I had called, and I don't know if it's called this in real life, but I call it selective strumming. So it's selective strumming wherever you want to. So if you want to do the low notes and then the high notes, it could be a pattern too. So selective strumming and accenting work together. So you actually have selective strumming and accents work together to make it. So if you want to accent the top, the 1, you would go all the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Then you go down again. So you're just playing the high notes, and then you play them all. This can change your strumming forever. Just this right here. 2, 3, 4. You're kind of playing the high, it's kind of soft. Now you hear how that kind of rings out like this, rings out over the whole thing. So it creates this cool sound. So you can accent that like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3. That's accenting. Just a really 3 and 4. Now I'm gonna do a flip. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. You see how I created a pattern, a basic pattern that you hear in songs with just accenting and selective strumming, but I'm not doing a bunch of crazy stuff. I'm not going like this. I'm not doing all that. But even if I wanted to do all that and make it sound good, the trick there still is. It's accenting. Okay, the trick still is accenting, and you syncopate it, and you accent it, and you selective strum. All those things happen together to make this. So that's still That's still a 16th note roll in your right hand. But you accent on certain things and you selectively strum certain things. So can you get that in your mind? Accenting and selective strumming is going to create the palette for you to make any pattern you want, whether you want to accent 2 and 4, whether you want to accent 1 and 3, whether you want to syncopate and accent the and a 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you're still using those things when you are strumming. So this is more of what I teach in Worship the King Gold, which right now you can get if you go in the link in the description, worshiptheking.com/gold. Make sure you like the video if you like this. Give me a comment, give me a subscription. Hey, and put the little bell so you can be notified when I go live. And let me know what you want to hear next, because that is just touching the surface. Go to my website. Make sure you get on the email list, because I'm going to be doing live webinars almost every day, every week, and on these topics for you. God bless you guys, and I'll see you